Did you know that the money in your bank account doesn't actually belong to you? Even though your bank account has your name on it, that money technically belongs to the bank, and they're often allowed to do whatever they want with it behind the scenes. By contrast, when you hold a cryptocurrency in your wallet, those coins or tokens are yours, and nobody can do anything with them behind the scenes without the permission of your private key. Now, the ability to self-custody is one of the primary reasons why cryptocurrencies have value. And that's why today I'm going to explain what crypto custody is, tell you about the different kinds of crypto custody that are currently available, and what kind of crypto custody is the best for you. I hate to spoil the show, but there's something you need to know. I am not a financial advisor, just a regular dude. So if that's what you're looking for, contact a financial advisor near you. If this is the first time you stumble into my lair, my name is Guy, and fiat currency fills me with despair. That's why I lighten the mood by creating the highest quality crypto content on the tube. Coins, tokens, news, reviews, tutorials, exchanges, regulations, taxes, and market moves. If this is the kind of content that fills you with cheer, subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell so you get a ring when the next video is here. If you've got places to be, you can use the timestamps below to skip ahead to any juicy topics you see. Just be aware that your brain will grow the longer you stare. Right, that's enough about me. Let's dive on into crypto custody. So, first things first, what is crypto custody? Well, to answer that question, it's necessary to understand how cryptocurrency wallets work. Every cryptocurrency wallet consists of two components, a public key and a private key. Now, the public key is used to create publicly viewable cryptocurrency wallet addresses. These are the jumbles of numbers and letters you send cryptocurrency coins or tokens to. Cryptocurrency wallet addresses are automatically created when you set up a cryptocurrency wallet, and new cryptocurrency wallet addresses can sometimes be generated using the same public key. Now, the private key is not publicly viewable, and it's used to send coins and tokens out of any cryptocurrency wallet addresses created by the associated public key. A private key often comes in the form of a wallet seed consisting of 12 or 24 words. This is done because it's easier to remember a set of words rather than a long jumble of numbers and letters. Because the seed phrase is derived from a private key, it can be used to recover the cryptocurrency in any wallet addresses created by the private key's associated public key. This is why you're always told to write it down and keep it secret when you create a crypto wallet. Now, as you might have gathered, crypto custody has to do with who holds the private key of a cryptocurrency wallet, be it the seed phrase or the long jumble of numbers and letters that make up the actual private key itself. So, broadly speaking, there are three kinds of cryptocurrency custody: self-custody, joint custody, and third-party custody. Each kind of crypto custody comes with its own pros and cons. Starting with self-custody, this is when you hold the private key of a cryptocurrency wallet. This means that you and you alone have the power to move coins and tokens out of any wallet addresses associated with that private key via the public key. Now, as I mentioned a few moments ago, a private key often comes in the form of a wallet seed consisting of 12 or 24 words. This seed phrase is usually shown to you when you first create a cryptocurrency wallet, but not always. Some cryptocurrency wallets that are optimized for user experience won't ask you to write down the seed phrase when you make the wallet. Instead, they store the seed phrase in the wallet settings for you to write down later, and sometimes even store the seed phrase as a file on the device you're using. If you've created a cryptocurrency wallet and can't find a seed phrase anywhere, it's safe to assume that the cryptocurrency wallet in question is custodial. This means that the company which created that cryptocurrency wallet holds your private key and not you. So, always make sure to check this, assuming a self-custodial wallet is what you're looking for. Self-custodial cryptocurrency wallets fall into two categories: hot wallets and cold wallets. A hot wallet is a cryptocurrency wallet which is constantly connected to the internet. This includes web wallets like MyEtherWallet, browser extension wallets like MetaMask, desktop wallets like Exodus, and mobile wallets like Coinomi. I'll leave a link to my video about the best mobile crypto wallets in the description if you're interested. Now, although hot wallets are quite secure, the fact that they're connected to the internet means it's theoretically possible for them to be hacked directly or indirectly. This makes hot wallets less secure than cold wallets. Now, a cold wallet is a cryptocurrency wallet that is air-gapped or completely disconnected from any network. This includes hardware wallets such as Ledger, Trezor, KeepKey, Coldcard, and Ellipel Titan. That's about all of them, actually. Now, you can think of a hardware wallet as being the private key you need to send coins or tokens out of any associated cryptocurrency wallets. As such, there is no way for someone to take control of your private key unless they have access to the physical device, and even then, they need to know the PIN to get in. More importantly, when the hardware wallet is connected to your PC when sending transactions, all the transaction signing is taking place on the device itself. So, even if someone has managed to install malware on your PC, they can't get access to your private key. I won't go into detail about hardware wallets here, but feel free to watch my video on the best devices on the market, and that is linked to in the top right. Anywho, the primary advantage of self-custody is that you are in complete control of your cryptocurrency at all times. The primary disadvantage of self-custody is the responsibility that comes with this. If you send your crypto to the wrong wallet address, there is no refund, and if you lose access to your private key, you will lose your cryptocurrency. There are some instances where you can recover your cryptocurrency even if you've lost access to your private key, and you can learn more about that by watching my video about lost crypto. I'll leave a link to that in the description. So, next up is joint custody. This is when you're not the only person who holds the private key to your cryptocurrency wallet. Joint custody can be done in many ways, and the most basic is sharing your private key with someone that you trust. This is not something that's advised, and it's almost never done. And that's simply because humans are corruptible. As much as someone says they won't run off with your crypto, if the price is right, they will do just that. This is why the most common joint custody is done using something called a multi-signature wallet or multisig. This basically involves creating multiple private keys for the same cryptocurrency wallet. These private keys are then shared among trusted parties, and the cryptocurrency wallet can be customized to send a transaction when a specific set of conditions are met. For example, you could create a multisig with 5 private keys, which requires 3 of 5 key holders to sign to send a transaction. Alternatively, you could create a multisig where either 3 of 5 key holders need to sign or 1 special key holder needs to sign before sending a transaction. Heck, you could even create a multisig with 5 private keys where only 1 special key holder needs to sign to send a transaction, but only within specified dates and times. The configurations here are endless, and obviously setting up a multisig wallet is much easier said than done, as this requires quite a bit of technical ability. That said, setting up a multisig wallet for Bitcoin or Ethereum can be done using Electrum and Gnosis Safe, respectively. I'll leave links to both in the description if you're interested. Now, another flavor of joint custody that's slowly gaining ground involves smart contracts, and yes, I know that some multisig wallets are created using smart contracts. The kind of smart contract joint custody I'm referring to here has more to do with custody settings that a crypto holder could impose on themselves. So, for example, you could send all your crypto to a special smart contract which sends you a small portion of your crypto pile when a certain condition is met, say 1 month has passed. Assuming you throw away the key to this smart contract, the crypto in that smart contract is technically no longer in your custody, even though you still have access to those funds. Now, I would count that as a kind of joint custody, but maybe I'm splitting hairs here. In any case, you get my point. Now, the primary advantage of joint custody is that it makes it possible to divide the responsibility of custody between multiple parties. If one of the key holders somehow loses access to their private key, they can still access their crypto with the help of the other key holders. Joint custody also makes it possible for each party to double-check that all transaction details are correct before a transaction is sent. The primary disadvantage of joint custody is that you have to trust the other key holders not to steal your crypto. And that is why this trust is often enforced using real-world legal contracts with the other key holders, which will hold them accountable if they try anything funny with your money. To further fortify this trust, some multisigs are set up with a professional crypto custodian as the only other key holder. This brings me to the third kind of crypto custody, and that's third-party crypto custody. This is when someone else holds the private key to your cryptocurrency wallet. Now, third-party crypto custodians fall into two categories: informal or formal. Informal third-party crypto custodians are individuals or institutions you can hold your crypto with, even though crypto custody isn't their shtick. A simple example of an informal third-party crypto custodian is a centralized cryptocurrency exchange. When your coins and tokens are on an exchange, they technically don't belong to you, in the same way that the money in your bank account doesn't belong to you. That crypto might show up under your name, but it actually belongs to the exchange. The only difference between banks and exchanges is that exchanges don't typically lend out or trade with your crypto behind the scenes the way the banks do with your money, probably because this kind of behavior can be seen using a blockchain explorer. Even so, there are massive risks associated with holding your crypto on an exchange or with any other informal third-party custodian, and this is for many reasons. For starters, exchange hacks are quite common. This is because the high concentration of crypto in one place makes hacking an exchange an extremely lucrative operation. Exchange hacks are possible because basically all the wallets you use on an exchange are hot wallets that are constantly connected to the internet. While large and well-funded exchanges such as Binance have refunded users following hacks in the past, there's no guarantee this will happen in the future, and it obviously would have been better if the hack had never happened. The fact that exchanges are centrally operated by corruptible humans also means that the exchange operators themselves could just as easily run off with your crypto. This has also happened many times, most notably with AfriCrypt and possibly with Quadriga CX. Don't even get me started on that one. Now, the worst part about informal third-party crypto custodians is that you have no recourse if something goes wrong. More often than not, there are clauses in those terms and conditions you accept which gives them immunity from any legal action over lost funds, regardless if it's your fault or theirs. This is in stark contrast to formal third-party crypto custodians, which were built from the ground up to offer the best-in-class security, crystal clear transparency, lots of liability, and even insurance. Now, funnily enough, most of the largest formal third-party crypto custodians are subsidiaries of crypto exchanges such as Coinbase Custody and Gemini Custody. Some crypto projects also offer formal third-party crypto custody, such as BitGo, which issues wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum, and Paxos, which issues stablecoins such as USDP, BUSD, and PaxG. The primary advantage of formal third-party custody is that your cryptocurrency is arguably as safe as it is with self-custody, but without all the responsibility. The primary disadvantage of formal third-party custody is that it can be very costly, and it also doesn't completely eliminate the possibility of corruption and human error. Look no further than Fireblocks for evidence of that. And so now for the big question: which kind of crypto custody is best for you? Well, the answer ultimately depends on two things: whether you're an individual or an institution, and how much crypto you have. If you're an individual with a moderate amount of crypto, self-custody is the way to go. What counts as moderate is up for debate, but I reckon a reasonable bar is less than $1 million. The only caveat is that any crypto you're not actively trading should be kept on a cold wallet at all times, and you should have multiple physical backups of your seed phrase and/or private key. Pro tip: consider getting one of those nifty metal cards that lets you carve in your seed phrase. I'll be offering one of my own soon, so stay tuned for that. Now, shilling aside, if you're an individual with a lot of crypto, aka more than $1 million, some degree of joint custody might be a better option. This really depends on which cryptocurrencies you hold. As I mentioned earlier, it's quite tricky to set up a multi-sig wallet for BTC, ETH, and ERC20 tokens, but it can be done using the wallets I mentioned earlier. You probably shouldn't do this alone, but it certainly doesn't hurt to learn how to do it using a few sats as practice. Unfortunately, there don't seem to be many multi-sig wallets for other cryptocurrencies, and the last thing you want is to pay some shadowy supercoder to create a custom multi-sig wallet. That is a disaster waiting to happen. If you're packing that amount of crypto, though, chances are there's someone you know and trust who could help set this up and possibly even play the role of key holder. Fun fact, Vitalik Buterin created his own multi-sig wallet earlier this year. This is because the amount of wealth he's accrued makes a $5 wrench attack that much more likely. In other words, someone could track him down, force him to fork over his private key, and take all his cryptocurrency. Bear in mind that this is the risk you run if you hold a lot of crypto. Now, that risk is higher if you flaunt your wealth, and that's one of the top 10 mistakes crypto holders make, and more about all that in the top right. Anyways, if you do decide to go the joint custody route, it's absolutely crucial that you keep the identities of the other key holders confidential. The only exception is if you tapped an institution to take the second set of keys, which is probably a wiser move than ringing up family and friends to see if they want to fill the role. Now, if you're an institution, you might be thinking that the obvious answer to the crypto custody question is to use a formal third-party crypto custodian. However, this isn't always the case. The first thing you should do as an institution is to check the laws around institutional crypto custody in your country. There might be some circumstances where you're not allowed to use certain third-party crypto custodians for whatever reason. Conversely, there might be cases where you're not allowed to custody any crypto yourself as a company. So once that's been sorted out, you need to assess how much crypto you plan on holding and for how long. If you're an institution which is looking to buy a bit of BTC as an experiment to see if you can turn a little profit in the short term, joint custody makes the most sense. This is because joint custody could offer a decent degree of liability if the key holders sign a contract. Third-party custody wouldn't be worth the costs and complications for such a small amount of crypto, but I suppose you could always write that off as an expense, assuming that's possible. If you're an institution looking to buy a lot of BTC to potentially sell for billions in the short term, third-party custody is the way to go, especially if the custodian in question is a subsidiary of a crypto exchange. This will make it very easy to sell your crypto when the big day comes. If you're an institution which is looking to buy a lot of BTC to hold for the long term, third-party crypto custody could be more of a temporary solution. Any institutions that are serious about crypto should consider building their own in-house crypto custody solutions for extra safety and oversight, at least according to MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor. If this sounds like a route you want to go down, be sure to double-check that the third-party crypto custodian you're currently using will actually give you access to the physical BTC they're holding on your behalf once your in-house crypto custody solution is ready to rumble. If you happen to be an institution that still isn't completely sold on crypto, well, I recommend watching my videos about the crypto reports done by the Bank of America and Fidelity. Links to both will be in the video description. That's all my thoughts about crypto custody, folks. Let me know what you think by dropping a comment down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and remember to subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell to make sure you stay in the know. Now, this channel is just the tip of the Coin Bureau iceberg. I have a second channel called Coin Bureau Clips in case you haven't heard. I'm also active on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and give you a regular rundown of news and crypto trends on Telegram. My weekly newsletter is where it all comes together. It's got all the info you need to make your portfolio better. If you succeed in doing so, consider treating yourself to a Coin Bureau hoodie, tee, beanie, or sweater, or get yourself a branded Coin Bureau bottle to stay hydrated if you're a sweater. Now, you can find your way to all these resources by following the links I've laid down in the description. Many thanks, as always, for your time, folks. I'll see you all on the other side.